And thank you for keeping on with Mr. Naviton. And I know that it's been a while since I've done a Let's Play, but to make the short version of a very long story, I took, my job got an opportunity in another state. So I ended up relocating to that state, and in doing so, I had to get a new computer. And I've been trying to get my save files from Divinity to upload onto this new computer, but I have not been successful yet. So what I may have to do is start over and just pick up where I left off, because the level and the experience points would be the same, just some of the gear would be different. It's just a lot of work to get back there, but it's unfinished business, and I like to complete something that I start. So, in the meantime, I had this King's Bounty 2 game on my Steam wish list for a while, and I know that it's been a minute since it's been out. And I thought, okay, let's give it a try. I've played all the previous versions of King's Bounty, and I really like the series and all the games from the Legend to the Dark Side. And so when I started this one, I'm like, holy smokes, this is not the same King's Bounty that I'm used to, but it's okay. There's a few things in here that remind me that it's a King's Bounty game, but not much. But I will have to give the game kudos to the beauty of the landscapes. Just all the games in the previous versions, I thought the scenery was just incredible, and this fits that bill too. So I thought I would give it a try, and I ended up liking it enough to do a Let's Play. But I want to do a challenge Let's Play. And so here's my rules for this challenge. And the first one is going to be pretty obvious. We are going to play on the hardest difficulty, which happens to be hard. Now that kind of threw me for a loop also, because all the previous games had a difficulty level of impossible. So I thought this one would have that, but it doesn't. It has hard. So that's what we're faced with and what we're going to do. Second rule is I have to play as a mage. Now, in the other King's Bounty games, you know that in the beginning the mage is probably the hardest character to play out of the three, from a warrior to a paladin to a mage, just because you have the lowest number of leadership, and that does carry over into this game. And so the mage has the least amount of leadership, so the troop size will be the smallest. And also I feel that Catherine, that's the mage, when it comes to resources, are very limited, because you don't get mana in this game. Isn't what you're used to, where it just regenerates. No, there's 4 ways to get it. There is mana crystal, you can acquire it. There is from quests, certain quests you can gain mana from. There is a spell that you can gain mana from, but your troops have to take damage in order to get that mana, but we'll cross that bridge later. And then the last thing is from loot, from chests and caches, to say. So that will be rule number 2. Rule number 3 will be no save scumming to get better equipment or spells. Now there is some items in this game that are sets, And once you get all the pieces, then you get the particular bonus that that set can give you. So some of the sets have quite a lot of pieces to them, and they're random drops. So you can save scum to try to get those pieces when they become available after a quest. But I am not going to do that. So what we get is what we get. And so we'll just move on. Alright, number... what are we at? 4 is I'm not going to be able to buy or use the resurrection spell or scrolls. That way I don't keep the battles going on forever. And what I mean by that is I get down to one troop left as for the enemy who can't hurt me anymore, and then so I can just take another 10-15 rounds just to try to resurrect all my troops back up, and then so I'm good to go once the fight's over. No, I won't be doing that. So I cannot be using the resurrection spell at all. And then the 5th rule is you can respect in this game, but I am not going to. I'm going to show you that it can be done without doing that. But there are benefits to it if you want to respect. We can go over some of the talent trees. We can show those off, but I will not be respected. So I have to pick my points very carefully to make sure that I don't waste them. Because you don't get so many talent points that you can just willy-nilly and put them everywhere. No, you have to be very specific in what you want to do to be successful. And the 6th rule I'm going to have, and it's not really a rule so much, but what I'm going to do is I'm only in the second map. The first map is a tutorial map, and in the second map I will only use Anarchy units. And with that, I will make the challenge for myself to make sure that every single Anarchy unit gets to rank 3. There's a ranking system in this game from 1 to 3, and so I will get all of them to rank 3, including the very special Anarchy unit that you can acquire at the end of the game, or towards the end of the game. So I gotta save enough battles to get that to rank 3. I won't spoil that now. We will get to that later. Okay, so those are the rules for this challenge. And so let's begin, shall we? And I'll talk throughout the game and explain my thought of the way I play it and the way that I think makes the most sense for me. Okay, so we're going to do a new game, and we already talked about it has to be on hard. And then so we are going to pick the mage, who is Catherine. And I've been reading a little bit about her and how the internet views her, and some people don't like her because they think that she's kind of a smartass, and I like that, actually. To me, it's kind of fun. So here we go. We start our life in Crucis here in the prison. Yes, we are a prisoner. We did something very bad. They think that we poisoned the king. So we will get to that here in just a minute.
Get up! Come on, hurry! The warden is calling! Are you really going to save Nostra, as they say?
Huh. That's an interesting opener. What are you driving at?
You can discuss it with Warden Valber. Come out of that cell, I'll escort you.
Well, if the warden himself is asking. How can a simple countess refuse?
Let's go. You know the warden doesn't like to be kept waiting. The sooner you get to his office, the sooner you'll learn everything. I can tell you this much. It's good news for you.
Okay, so we got sprung out thanks to the king's son, who thinks that we can save Nostria and that possibly we are innocent. And with our abilities, we can figure out what happened, what really happened. But boy, there's a long way to go from here to there. Okay, in this game, there is a lot of dialogue and there's a lot of reading. I will show the dialogue, but I'm going to skip a lot of the reading. Other than the parts where there's like a clue, then I'll read the clues and how to solve the riddle.
Your belongings are in yonder chest. Take everything or you'll freeze to death. The prison's warmer than outside, slightly. Pestilence has struck Montpetrie.
Okay, when we see lit up yellow boxes like that, means we can loot them. And so in this box, we get a top coat, 2,500 gold, and 20 mana. Alright, we're going to take all that. And let's go over our opening stats here real quick. So we have the top coat, which gives us +1 to magic power. So you can see we start arcane knowledge at 4. Incredibly low. But arcane knowledge gives us the ability to research and upgrade spells and increase the amount of mana available in combat. And then the magic power increases the damage dealt by spells. And also for every 75 skill points in magic power, we get an extra 1 round for effects as well as spells. So like slow or even a healing spell, you can get it for another round. So that's very big. Okay, so we're gonna go see the warden here. Shiny flashy books and scrolls like this means we can read them. Like I said, I'm not gonna read it. You can on your own playthrough or let's play. So here's Valbert. Let's talk to him.
So much fuss and all for what? Who the hell do you think you are, making me wreak havoc in my prison?
I'm Catherine, Countess of Rigern, in case you've forgotten.
Well, well. I heard a little more than that. As Flavius the Wisecracker eloquently wrote, there's nothing new in this world. But I haven't received a letter like this in all 7 years of my tenure at Crucis. Prince Adrian orders that you be freed and sent to Marcella. Also, you won't be leaving here on foot. I was ordered to return your gold and belongings, provide you with a horse, and, let me read it aloud, allocate some of my own garrison as your personal guard. Madness!
As that same Flavius the Wisecracker of yours wrote, there is always a kernel of sense in madness.
Whether the prince is sane or not is of no consequence. I cannot disobey my liege. Bastian should have returned your money and belongings by now. If he didn't steal them himself. Quartermaster Aston will supply you with weapons. As for gold, you have plenty already. Go to Decim to collect your guards. He has a platoon of troublemakers he's wanted rid of for a long time now. He'll be glad to hand them over. I also advise you to purchase some dogs for the road. And what else did His Highness request? Ah yes, a horse. Levitt the stable boy has a soft spot for nags too old and worn down to work. I'm sure he can pick one out for you.
It looks like the local climate has changed your temperament for the worse.
Okay, so we're done with the warden. And then we go to our journal, and then we can see what the quest log tells us to do. We gotta buy the equipment from Aston and then collect the guards from Decim. So that's what we're gonna do. And Aston happens to be the first one we see, and he's right here.
What do you need, human? A shovel, perhaps? Have you been sent to the stables, too?
Careful with your words, short one. I'm a countess. Don't you dare compare my royal self to a stable hand. Now give me a weapon and be quick about it.
Oh, sacred forefathers. Why would I ever do that?
Because I'm free again. Any more questions?
By Mactus's horns. This is the first time I've ever seen a human leave Crucis on their own 2 feet. If you got gold, treat yourself to something new. Go ahead.
Okay, so he's got all those swords right there, and we can't buy them. So we trade. We are to buy gloves. That gives us +1 arcane knowledge for 300 gold.
Aston didn't shortchange you on equipment. I warrant you'll survive the Albion Highlands. Go, human. May your body be as hard as flint, and your soul as clear as crystal.
Well, a dwarven poet.
So we we were told we could buy a weapon and we get gloves.
The lumberjacks
Here's
are all
Decim.
for- Halt! What are you doing here? You're not permitted to be wandering about like a stray cat.
I'm no longer a prisoner, Decim. You're to give me a suitable number of soldiers as escort to Marcella.
So, Centurion, it's true. The warden received a missive from the prince ordering the provision of a guard troop for the prisoner. Former prisoner. Huh? Never heard of a prisoner being released. Ah, well, I believe I have some laggards and troublemakers I can spare. Can I go too? Oh, how I miss the sunny warmth of the capital. No, Bastian, you're not rotten enough to let go. I can still make a decent guard out of you.
I heard your worthless conscripts are accompanied by mangy fighting dogs.
The only thing you'll be getting for free is a family of bedbugs. I spent a year training those hounds. Now, if we're talking about an exchange of gold for flesh, that's another bowl of kibble entirely. You'll get the best dogs in Nostria.
Sounds too good to be true. Are they really worth the price?
These recruits might not be the brightest candles at the feast, but my fighting dogs are as fierce as the warden himself. You won't regret a single gold piece spent on these animals.
Okay, so you can see we got 3 spearmen. So here's our army over here on the left. And recruits. He's got 3 dogs of war. We'll buy all 3. Now, 460 is our leadership, which gives us, that's how we can only get 3. Because the dogs themselves are 150 leadership each. Okay, so now we got the spearmen, we got the dogs. Now we need to go get our horse from Levitt, the stable boy. But before we do that, there's some gold to be found over here in this room. So, shiny barrel, we can loot that. Shiny book we can read. And then here is a pouch of gold, 290. And open this door, there's another pouch of gold there, 287. And then in the backpack here is a box, 121. Plus some gem. Alright, a little bit.
Ah, it's you. You're the one who poisoned that scoundrel Claudius. It's a real pleasure to meet you.
I wish it were me, but
Don't be modest. You did a great thing here, and history will not forget you.
I think I've seen you somewhere, stable boy. Were you responsible for delivering horses to Rigern? Oh, by the way, what I really need right now is a horse.
All you're asking is a horse? Just a horse? Have no worry. You'll get our best. Saddle up quickly. You've probably forgotten how to ride after half a year in a cell.
You can go now. Actually, wait.
What now?
I wanted to warn you about sentry golems. Be wary of them once you're past New Tyrene.
Tell me more about the golems.
The Mage Rossum took them to clear a landslide. What they lack in brain, they make up in brawn. Since they don't know you've been released, they're liable to crush you. As you pass the southern ruins, find the Archer's squad commander, Ansel. The Royal Messenger said the squad will join you and augment your escort. I'm hoping that by the time you get there, they'll catch the marauder who's been raiding abandoned houses. Wonder why old Baron Garius didn't turn him into a chicken.
Who's this Baron Garius? Another escort?
That's up to his magicness. I have no authority over him. Perhaps he'll decide to leave these cold, inhospitable lands for the warmth of the Mage's Tower.
Come on, mount up. I picked out
Okay,
the
so we got
very
30
best
XP. And here is our new horse, which controlling the horses, it takes some getting used to. It's very tricky. He doesn't turn real quickly and sharp, and he doesn't go backwards.
Can it possibly
So,
be getting cold?
yeah, you got to practice with him to get there, and because he doesn't turn real sharp, you can get stuck
Not
in a
surprising that
corner
people want to leave
really
the Highlands.
easily, and then
The climate here is worse than in Rigor.
if you can't get out of it, then you might have to reload your game to where your last save was. Okay, this is our first fight. As you can see, it looks like a bunch of wolves that we got to deal with. It's a weak enemy. There are 3 wolves. You can see this one is at rank 2, and this one is at rank 1. And so the rank 1, 60 health, 17 to 23 damage. And then the rank 2, 83 health, 22 to 32 damage. So that's pretty big. A big jump when you go up in the ranks. Okay, unit deployment. Now you can hover over with your cursor. You can see in the red, that's their action points, and that's how far they can go. So I want to kind of stay in the back, let them come to me, and then we will so we have the skill Bloody Bite, which creates bleeding. I am going to attack the rank 2. I'm not going to use Bloody Bite because I know that my spearmen will take him down. So I just lost the dog. Now, in this case, I want the spearmen to go first. And they're going to, well, they're going to wipe. Berserk Strike. So I lost the dog, and you're gonna see here it's gonna cost 150 gold to heal that dog. Well, I got 76 gold for winning the fight, so I'm already going backwards. That's the difference between normal and hard. Hard, everything costs more. Troops cost more.
Oh,
Quite a bit.
I read about this statue. I need
Quite
to
a bit
find its
more.
hands.
Also, the different ranks cost more. Like, anywhere from the rank 1 dog to the rank 2 dog to the rank 3 dog. Okay, we're gonna go to the edges of this town and we're gonna just start looting. I'm not gonna go up this road quite yet because that's where we complete a quest. I want to find this big chest. Now you'll always get a scroll here, and And then items. So I got a worker's jersey. We'll take that. Let's see the difference between a worker's jersey and my top coat. Warfare +1 versus magic power. No, I'm gonna stick with the magic power. Okay, let's keep running and looting. And what I like to do is go on one side of the road, or a path, or whatever it may be, and then double back. We got to the Witch's Stone waypoint, and then we'll double back and go back towards town the other direction. Now there are these shrines all over the world, and depending what kind of shrine it is, it gives you a different effect or bonus. This happens to be experience shrine, so we got 50 XP, and we went up to level 2. We gotta take the statues
Did
right
it
on.
work?
So we got to level 2. We will go over a level up here in just a minute.
Hey, you!
Try to
Come
do it
over
briefly.
here.
Let's talk to Lester.
Who are you?
Are you from Crucis? Quickly, come with us. Run.
I'm not running anywhere. Explain yourself.
I'm a lumberjack. We're nothing but dwarven woodcutters, honest. We cut down trees and send the lumber onto Crucis. The humans have all left the valley. Only us and a few locals remain. Stein is our chief. So then this Lupin, a man from Rigon, arrives at our village. He was stirring up trouble, trying to recruit the remaining human hunters to join him in his wicked deeds. Then Lupin's men seized the village. They captured Stein and are trying to start a fight with the dwarves. Things could easily turn bloody. We took them in purely out of kindness, and this is how they repay us. Disgusting! Help us! Quick, run!
Okay, we will follow him in a little bit later. I want to keep going. That's going to be a fight, and so we need to have our troop garrison at maximum size that we can get there. Okay, so here's the statue, and then the quest was to
Just the thing.
figure out how it works. We find its arms,
It doesn't work.
put his arms on, lift the one arm, and then it reveals a chest. And there is a lot of quests for riddles in this game that do this very thing. But we want this because of this scroll, mainly. 300 gold isn't bad either. We got this traveling cap. Let's see what that's about. +1 to health. So all your troops get +1 health. Okay, let's go over the level up and also scrolls briefly. So yeah, I can stay there. Okay, this is our talent wheel, if you will. I call it a wheel. There are 4 factions to this, if you want to call them that. Order, Power, Finesse, and Anarchy. And in each faction, you have the different skills that you can put your talent points into to have that skill for your character, whatever it might be. We are a mage, and our faction is mainly down here in the finesse corner. As you can see, this is the 4 schools of magic, and this is tier 1, and then we have tier 2, tier 3, and then we have the ultimate supreme magic at tier 4. So all the other ones work the same way. This is tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and then tier 4. And then so you can see that we have 3 points into the finesse side, and depending on what quest we choose to go with the finesse points is how we acquire those. That makes sense. The more finesse quests that we complete, the bigger this number grows, till we get to 28. 28 is the max, and so that's for all of them. This takes 28. That one takes 28. And then this one takes 28. So, and for the mage, tier 4 is Supreme Magic, which we can use the spell book twice in a round, which is huge. I mean, it's just awesome. So that's what we're going to strive for to get there. All right, so let's keep going. I'm going to call the horse Trigger. I wish that you could type in its name, but we can't. So we're just going to call him Trigger for now. Okay, we're going to leave here, and we're going to come down to the Witch's Stone. This is the clay golems that Bastion warned us about. They don't know us, so they're telling us we cannot cross.
The mage left his dummies without supervision. I should find him.
And so we do it. This is our first quest that we have a choice. And you can see at the top what the compass is going south. The red sword there. That's a power choice. So you can just try to take those on and destroy them. And then once you complete that, then you get power points. A mage cannot do that, however. They will not allow the mage to strike those guys. I tried. It's just to see. So we have to go with the finesse choice here. And so we got this second riddle. And to touch the runes in order, we do Digger. So it core.
Could have come up with something more difficult.
So let's talk to Razum.
You, prisoner. What are you doing here?
Prince Adrian set me free. I'm headed for Marcella.
Amazing. Was your assassination attempt on the king forgiven? I was certain the world would run out of mana, and gold be cheaper than clay before such a thing came to pass.
I didn't poison that idiot.
Maybe so, maybe so. Wondrous things are happening in Nostria. So what caused you to interrupt my meditation?
Your golems, Rossum, they're blocking my way. Kindly remove them.
Since you were summoned by Prince Adrian himself, so be it. But I hope you don't believe mages always work for free. Erblidi immobilatus!
Okay, so you can see we acquired a finesse point plus a scroll, 30 XP, and these are mana crystals. So we need to touch them, and then we get 50 mana for this one. They vary in the amount as you go along. Alright, so then we want to go this way. Back here because there's some loot. Touch the chandelier, we'll open up the door. This poor fella didn't make it. Start grabbing. And most of the loot that you find is trash. It's just gonna be garbage. But there are vendors that you sell that trash to turn into gold. Arcane Vortex. No, I was gonna show them. Spellbook and scrolls. So let's do that right down here. Then we'll grab Trigger. Alright. So this is our book of magic. And you have the 4 schools, and then kind of like the old King's Bounty games where they had the world magic. Well, it's called wayfaring magic here. And so this is ancestral experience, the scroll that we got. And you can see that increases heroes XP for winning a battle by 50%, active for 3 battles. So what I do with those is I will save them up to get 3 bosses in a row to get the most out of that. So I will be doing that in this Let's Play. And so in this school, Earth and Ice, we know Stone Skin. They give us that one. And then we picked up a extra scroll. And then we also got this Freezing Ray. School of Life and Light, we have a healing scroll. Then Air and Fire, we know Burning Ray. We just got Arcane Vortex, which this gives us resistance plus 25, which is to magic resistance. And that's it. Okay, so on we go. Let's grab trigger. Okay, let's go back. Nope. That's not the right way. See what I mean? It's hard to control the horse. It just does not want to turn. So the golem should go. They should run away. Then we're going to go through. We're going to go straight. We need troops. And
Is
so
this Baron Garrus' magic?
let's go down here. So you see the archer, and that's who we're
The
supposed
Bastille
to.
gates are to the left. And to the right, I can see the Mage's tower behind the houses.
Who we're supposed to meet up with to go to the Bastille gates.
Adrian must really want a meeting if he sent this man.
Halt! Who goes there? Ah, it's you. Finally. While you were wandering around like a lost chicken, we captured a marauder. No idea how he got here, to be frank, but that's Valba's problem. Our task is to escort you to the Bastille gates and see you on your way.
Are you in that much of a hurry? You must be cold.
The Bastille gates guard should have been here to meet us a few hours ago, but there's still no sign of them. We built a campfire though and heated up some stew, so I'm not complaining. Make yourself comfortable. Check out Helena's recruits. Once you're ready, give me the signal and we'll move out towards the Bastille gates.
Okay, so he gave us 3 archers and 4 healers. And so we're going to give him the order right now.
Still not frozen solid, Archer. I'm ready.
Excellent. The march should hopefully warm us some. I'll lead the way. Soldiers! Formation!
And we got 50 XP for that. Here's another waypoint. Let's go behind the fire. We'll come back to Elena in just a second. So, loot. Oh, we got an Inspire 1 scroll. With scrolls, we don't want to just automatically think, we don't need this one, we're just going to sell it. Because you never know when you may want to use one. And you can also use scrolls to conserve mana and just use it up because it doesn't cost you any mana. It costs you the turn to use a spell, but it doesn't cost you any mana. Okay, you can see with our level up, now we can equip 4 spearmen. So we're going to buy one right now to max that unit out. So now we're just short one unit. Well, 1 stack, I should say. So let's go back to the Witch's Stone because now we can go meet up with Lestor. Go back to Tyrene. This way I'm gonna make right through here. Let's stop here because here's another shrine. This is a power obelisk. +1 to magic power. Now behind these shrines you're gonna want to look. Because sometimes there's a chest. Okay, so this is the lumberjack's house. Here is a recruiter mark. And all that mark has are wolves. So we're going to buy those 3 wolves. Now, you can see that when I bought the wolf here, I probably did it too soon. But once I hired these 3 wolves, since this is order, and 1 power, the morale went to neutral. And morale in this game, in my opinion, is just huge. Because there's a 3-point morale system that goes 3 points up and 3 points down. So neutral is right in the middle, and so you don't get a benefit from morale at all, but you also don't get a penalty. So you can go the other way to where there's a penalty, and then if it's go to -3 is the max, and then you have a 30% chance of that unit skipping its turn. Whereas also, if you have +3 morale, then you have a 30% chance of gaining an extra turn. So that is huge. We'll go over all that later, but here's Stein. We want to talk to him.
In a birch grove one rejoices, in pines prayers sung in many voices, but among the spruces only nooses.
What are you, a poet?
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Stein. Back in my youth I was a scribe at Marcella, but the city is too noisy for me, too fast. As you can see, I'm looking for peace and quiet now.
Quiet seems to have fled, followed closely by peace. What's happening here?
It's that troublemaker Lupin. He's a criminal on the lam from Regern. He's fallen in with Raould, another lowlife and deserter from Crucis. He tried to seize control of the valley, and as you can see, the dwarves didn't take kindly to that idea. I tried to settle things peacefully, but nobody listened to me. I hate to say it, but the snow will be soaked with blood today.
These troublemakers of yours promised to break the prisoners out of Crucis. Surely that's not a bad thing.
Of course they do, but think. If Lupin's fellows are able to attack the supply shipments to Crucis, the city will starve. Once the dwarves are gone, the firewood goes with them. And who do you think the warden Valbert is going to deprive of food and heat first? His guards or the prisoners? I'll let you figure that one out for yourself.
Okay. So now we need to go talk to Lupin here.
Hey, Lupin, look! One of the Crucian prisoners, another victim of Claudius and Valbert.
You're just in time. We need another strong arm right about now.
What makes you think I'll help you?
You're human. This concerns you too. These jumped-up dwarfen lumberjacks have it too good. They're living like little lords on handouts from the fort, from that damned Valbert. We local hunters, on the other hand, are being oppressed. Only I, Lupin, can grant any hope of justice.
Don't you remember how they treat prisoners? I worked for Valbert myself until I escaped. You'd turn blue if you'd seen what I'd seen. Most of them are rotting alive in there. Not because they're bandits or murderers, mind. Just because they dared say something about the drunkard king. It's not humane.
Ah, so you're on the side of justice. What's your plan?
We've decided to seize Crucis.
We're going to starve the fort by cutting off their access to food and fuel. When we triumph, we'll free all the prisoners.
But the dwarfs are against us, so we need to force their hand. Then it will be Valbert's turn to answer for his misdeeds. If you're not going to help us, your other option is to spill our blood. human blood.
Okay. So we come up with our second choice quest here. You can see the green parchment above Lupin, which is order. That's an order choice. Or we can take on the dwarf Lestor, and that's an anarchy choice. We are going to choose order, and so we're going to take Lupin on and his deserters and his brigands. It says weak enemy. But here we go. Again, in this fight, I'm not going to use mana. No magic. I want to save it for a little bit later. It won't be too long and I'll have to use it. But try to conserve as much as we can. Okay, ranged units in the back, melee in the front. And you can see the turn order 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7. And so that is done on initiative, is how the game says who goes first and who doesn't. Okay, so the wolves go first. They have this hit and run skill, and we're going to use that on these guys, those brigands. It says we kill one, and we did. Okay, and then so we got the dogs. We're gonna wait. Sometimes the best course of action is to wait, let the enemy come to you, and then, well, you can take it from there. Okay, we got fire arrow there. Healers, we're gonna heal 24 to 34 of the wolves. At 31. Let's see the spike. Precise strike. We're gonna go here, and we're gonna hit the brigands. One down. Okay, so we don't even have to use Bloody Bite. We'll just take that guy down. So you can see that strategy, whereas each unit gets a counter strike. So the spearmen took the counter strike from the brigands, and then the dogs just get a free hit. We'll have the wolves take on the other brigand there. Okay, so round 2. We will have the Bloody Bite on them, just in case somehow they live. No? Okay, and then the archers will take out. Alright. So we didn't have to heal up anybody. Everybody got experience. We gained 223 gold and 8 mana. Alright.
The forest weeps not when grass is tread. Mankind alone grieves for the dead. The forest teems, here a hare, there an owl, and branches blow, the pines will return after all.
I had a couple of so-called poets like these back at court. Whatever happens, it always boils down to snow, skies, and white sails.
It's such a shame everything had to end up in a fight. The people of these lands have suffered enough already. I weep for the hunters.
Save it for someone who cares, old man. As we dwarves say, you can't shore up a tunnel without cutting down a few trees. Now that those troublemakers have been taken care of, our lives will surely get better. Maybe we'll find an ore vein and then start our own mine. Glorious. Thank you, noble human. I have nothing to repay your kindness, but my uncle lives nearby. He'll reward you handsomely. Please pay him a visit.
Okay. I forgot there's a book up here that we could have read. I don't think it advances any quest though. So. Alright, so now that we completed that quest, Or fight, I should say. We haven't completed the quest yet. So now Mark has the dwarves, since we sided, so we took out the humans and sided with the dwarves. So now we can recruit militiamen if we wanted to. But I do not want to. I do want to get one wolf. And the reason for that is just so I don't have to come back here to keep buying them. So let's... Okay, so now we're at full capacity. Let's go finish that Axis and Splinters quest by go talking to Lester's uncle. And that's where we need to cross the bridge. It's right over here. Go right up the hill. And here's the uncle.
Who's this, then? Ah, it's my nephew Lester's human friend. You helped deal with those angry hunters. Thank you, human.
Thank you. Is that all I get?
Lester asked if I could pay you back somehow. Here, take this. It's not a lot, but it's honest money.
So, this book too. But we got soldier's boots. So, let's take a look. Soldier's boots. +1 health. For all our troops. Okay. A lot of times I like to point the direction that I'm supposed to because that's how Trigger shows up when I summon him. So let's go down the hill. Got hung up on a rock there. Nope, that's not the way we want to go. We want to go this way. Alright, so now we can go back down to Bliss. And go into the town. There's another side quest there. The Cold Bones. So that'll be next. And it's just off to the right here.
Another ghost town.
Okay, so let's take a look around. You can see these walls with these rune words. And only one is lit, the rest are not. The barrel there with a roll of cotton. Alright,
Everything's been abandoned.
let's get to these bags. So, this shiny thing is a scroll. And it happens to be we need to find a bundle of these letters. And each one that we find, we get 5 XP for. Go to the journal real quick. Letters from the Highlands. Find all the old letters. There's a total of 5. And then so when we get all 5, we get a reward of 75 XP. So we want to stick to the right side. There's one there. We got another 5 XP for that one. Another one here. There's a chest. More pink gloves. But 28 mana, that's good. Yeah. We definitely need the mana. Okay, so let's go on this side and take a look. Nothing there.
Frost cuts me to my very bones. How could anyone live here?
Well, they don't. That's why. It's
And to
abandoned.
think they tried to live here.
Okay. Here's roll number 4 and a pouch of gold. Alright. So, let's go up the stairs. You You can see the
So
Cold
much
Bones
effort
quest
wasted.
marker up by the compass. Here. There's a chest at the top of these stairs. Alright. So we can see this force field down the stairs to the cemetery. And over
It's some
here
kind of riddle.
is
If
a
only there
riddle.
was some kind of
So
hint.
well, the hint is in the tablet. And so we want northwest, southeast, southwest. Northwest, southeast. Northwest. Southeast. And then southwest. Opens up a portal. And here is Baron Garius. I'm going to talk to him.
Thank the Creator, I've been heard. You solved the riddle of the portal, so you're definitely no dark spirit. Who are you, then?
Was it you who led me here? Was the sigil on the road your work?
So it is, though my abilities aren't what they once were. Thankfully, I still had strength enough to inscribe the Morning Star. That's what led you to me.
What an old-fashioned name. Where's it from?
Morgus Thaumaturgical Catalog, of course. And the Ether Seal is holding the entrance to the cemetery shut. My name is Berengarius. My colleagues and I once attempted to warm the Albion Highlands with rune magic. My knowledge of the runes is vast, but it did not save me from an ice-rimed death. Look at what's left of me.
I see. You worked here even before Archmage Alberine.
Ever since then, I've been waiting for people to return here, to the Town of Bliss. But I am bedeviled by the Dark Spirit and his servants, the cemetery ghouls. Long ago, I inscribed protective runes on every building. But since then, their power has dwindled. Soon, the Dark Spirit will freely roam the streets of Bliss. I am too weak in this form. Please, visit the different rooms and read the mantras of power. Argo vires imago.
Alright, so now we gotta go to those rune words on the wall and shout out the spell. You can see in our cursor up here in our compass. It tells us where to go. Tripped over a branch.
Argo vires imago.
Okay. Back here.
Argo vires imago.
And this should be the last.
Argo vires imago.
So now you can tell that the quest log got updated. And we're gonna follow the Cold Bones quest back to Baron Garius.
The protective runes weakened the Dark Spirit, allowing me to leave the tower. Yet I am still very weak. I believe I told you about his minions, the cemetery ghouls. They dig up graves and devour the cold bones of the dead. We must stop this desecration and destroy the spirit itself.
And it's down to me to destroy it. How did I know it would end this way?
Exactly. If the spirit banishes me, my research will never be completed, and Bliss will forever remain cursed. I promise that once you destroy the army of the Dark Spirit, every valuable remaining in our Mage's abode will be yours. I am lifting the Ether Seal. You can now enter the cemetery.
we're gonna pass trigger. To the left here is cash. Grab everything in that. So you can see here we got a fight of the undead, skeleton ghouls, and a dark spirit. So it's a weak enemy. The strongest is the dark spirit. The reason for that is he has this madness spell that he puts on the living, and it's kind of like the berserker spell in the old King's Bounty games, where they just hit the next closest friend or foe. It doesn't matter. Alright, so again, the ranged units in the back, the melee units in the front. We're gonna do the hit and run to the dark spirit. We want to take him out first. Now the ghouls can go. They have that. You look. Melee. Cursed. Basic attacks inflict cursed debuff on the target. So now the wolves have cursed, which now the morale is -3, which they may end up. There's a 30% chance to skip a turn. Yeah, not very good. Okay, so we want the dogs to go after the dark spirit. We're gonna have archers take on the ghouls with the flame arrow. Now the healers, their passive skill is they deal 50% more damage to undead enemies. So I mean, we could heal the dogs, but also let's think out a duel. I'm gonna have Spearman go there. Precise strike. Let's get rid of the ghoul. And the ghoul just goes flying through the air. So you can see that was a control zone for the dog. So you saw right there the wolves skipped their turn. Okay, we're gonna have the dogs go down. Fight. Archers are gonna make healers. Yeah, this is one. Spearman. They took that one. Oh, lost an archer. And then the wolves can take out the skeleton. So everybody got XP. So you can see we got 200. It's going to take 235 gold to heal everybody. But we made 530. Okay. So let's run to the back. The fifth letter for us to find is right here. And then here's a war memorial. Gives us +1 to warfare, which is the amount of damage that our troops do. Let's talk to Eric here.
I found these letters in the Albion Highlands. Do you wish to see them?
Oh, you found them. Yes, I remember. This one is written by Sylvie. She was always unsatisfied with something or other. And that's Joseph, of course. Good lad. Size of a mountain. And this one. Yes. All these letters never reached their destination. They never got sent. The disease, the cold, the exodus.
Did the authors survive?
If memory serves, they all managed to leave, but their descendants shall return. When the sun shines warm and welcoming upon the Albion Highlands, then they shall return, I am certain. Then I will show them the missives of their ancestors.
Very well. I'll leave them with you then.
Okay, we got 50 XP for completing that. Let's talk to him again.
Thank you. Now I can continue my research. I promise that one day, the elements in these harsh lands will bow to my command.
But not anytime soon, I imagine. I don't think I will live to see your triumph, Berengarius.
I'll toil day and night, and I will prevail. I am especially certain of my success now that I have the aid of those who, not so long ago, were slavering to gnaw on my bones.
Something tells me the cemetery ghouls have a new master.
All for the prosperity of the Albion Highlands. To restore those glorious northern territories, I am ready to command the dead. I will become a necromancer and do whatever else it takes. If you wish, you can command them as well. I can give you control.
Careful, Berengarius. Necromancy is a black abyss. Practice it, and you might end up a dark spirit yourself. Or worse.
Okay, so we got 500 gold but 60 XP. And then so now he is a recruiter. You can see he has Anarchy units. Only 2 though. The skeletons and the ghouls. Okay, we're gonna buy some of these right now. And this is a great way to show the morale situation. You can see they're all green. And they get +1, so there's a 10% chance of getting an additional turn. However, when I buy those guys, oh boy, everybody's getting angry. Nobody wants to be with each other. So something you got to keep in mind. We're going to buy 2 more. We only get 7 of each. Can't get too crazy. We gotta save some of our gold. You always want to have some gold left over in case you go negative or go backwards so that you can cover your healing costs. Alright, so now we are, I believe we're at level 3. Level 3. And you can see we now have 600 leadership, arcane knowledge, and magic power 13 and 14. So they're increasing as we level up. Okay, so let's grab the healer, let's grab the 4 wolves. So now we just need to go get an archer and a war dog. And then we can get those
They
down
don't,
here.
even though I didn't ask them to. Is this Berengarius' doing, I wonder?
Helena. Yeah, that's her name. There's another fight there. We'll come right back to that. That's probably going to be our last fight of the day. Okay, so let's grab a war dog and the other archer. There. Now, our units are full. So let's go back to the archer. Here, and then you can see we have another battle. So let's do this battle. We have wolves and a bear. All rank 1. The bear, though, has 357 hit points. Lots of health. We're gonna do same kind of scenario as before. wolves in the middle. Yep, archers in the back. And I'm okay with the wolves. See, they have that hit and run ability. So we want the bear to come to us. Let's see. 32 to 48. 32 to... Let's heal the dogs. 34. Okay. Here comes the bear. Well, good thing I healed the dogs. Oh, you gotta go. Dang it. Alright, well. The wolves are gonna attack the bear, and that'll take up the counter strike. So, we're gonna have the dogs do a bloody bite. Archers, flaming arrow. Pikeman, precise strike. Okay. Can they survive? Not only can they survive, the wolves take down the bear. He's almost dead. We're gonna wait. Take down the wolf. Healers, why don't you heal up the dog? The very last one. And pikeman. Take down that wolf. No. So we don't want to lose the entire stack. That's the other part of this. When you lose an entire stack, then you gotta go buy wherever you found them from, and hopefully they have some that they're willing to still sell you because they have the numbers. Sometimes there's a limited supply. And here again, we went backwards. We lost too many troops. Cost too much gold.
Please don't kill me. It's not my fault, I tell you. It was her. I tried to end it all, but I didn't have the will. Have mercy.
Wait a second. You look familiar.
I am Fabian from Crucis. I was captured wandering about these dark ruins.
Ha! I recognize you now. You're that marauder who was looting the ruins of Bliss. Do you not fear the undead?
Not so fast, Ansel. First, I want to find out what he's so frightened of.
The witch Amarantha. She lives on the mountain. Her magic compels me to attack travelers, but she's also... She's so beautiful. Wait, I've said too much. I must go.
Marauder or not, leaving him be is dangerous. He's a bit strange, this one. Maybe you should follow him, see where he went. I'll go check what awaits us on the road. Let's meet at the Batil gates.
Run ahead then, Archer. I'll consider whether or not he's worth pursuing.
Okay. That's going to be it for this episode today. I want to thank you all for coming back to Mr. Naviton, and we will continue King's Bounty 2 next time. Alright, take care everybody. Bye-bye.